Always stand on principle, even if you stand alone. Adam's life reminds us that true leadership is not measured by popularity, but by faithfulness to truth and principle, even when standing alone. As president, he sought peace with France, despite intense political pressure from members of his own party who wanted war. This anniversary is not a celebration of America's past, but it's also an invitation to pray for her future. This is an opportunity for us to reflect on our nation's history and honor those who sacrificed for freedom and look with hope towards the future. You're listening to Build It Messy, the podcast for women who are ready to stop waiting until they have it all together and start building the life that's been calling their name. I'm your host, Kimberly A. I'd like to welcome you each week as we have honest conversations about faith, family, forgotten dreams, and the courage it takes to go after what God planted in you long before life got loud. Because here's what I know to be true: the most beautiful things, they don't start clean, they start messy. So let's get into it. Hey there, it's Kimberly A, and welcome to Build It Messy. Today's episode is dedicated to our country's birthday. Happy birthday, America! 250 years, the United States of America. It was 250 years ago that the adoption of the Declaration of Independence took place on July 4th, 1776. We're so blessed. So blessed. What a milestone that's being celebrated throughout 2026. This is an opportunity for us to reflect on our nation's history and honor those who sacrificed for freedom and look with hope towards the future. I'm just so grateful to be an American and thankful to God for the blessings of freedom. Today, we honor those who came before us, those who've served to protect our liberty, and I pray that our nation will continue to seek wisdom, justice, and most of all, God's guidance for the generations to come. We look with hope towards the future. Today, I wanted to highlight a patriot, John Adams. My girlfriend Diana and I were talking recently, and she reminded me of this quote that John Adams wrote. It's so profound. He wrote, "Always stand on principle, even if you stand alone." Like I said, this quote was widely attributed to John Adams, and it captures the way he lived. Throughout his career, he often chose conviction over popularity. It was very evident after the Boston Massacre when he agreed to represent British soldiers in court. And although many colonists criticized him, he believed that every person deserved a fair trial. He later said, "Facts are stubborn things." Write that one down. Put that one up. Facts are stubborn things. And he also believed that justice should not be driven by public anger. And he was so bold as well to urge other delegates that were not even ready to declare their independence, because Adams strongly argued that the American colonies should declare independence from Britain, even when it was politically risky. And then, as president, he sought peace with France, despite intense political pressure from members of his own party who wanted war. His decision cost him politically, but he believed it was the best for the country, serving the nation over popularity. With all of those values, he based a lot of his principles on biblical principles, on biblical verses. And I'm going to go to Galatians 1:10. Am I now trying to win the approval of human beings or of God? Another principle was Joshua 24:15. Choose this day whom you will serve. And Proverbs 29:25. The fear of man lays a snare, but whoever trusts in the Lord is safe. Adam's life reminds us that true leadership is not measured by popularity, but by faithfulness to truth and principle, even when standing alone. There's this other letter that he wrote. I read in my little independence book here, In God We Still Trust. The author is Richard Lee. He had a couple of different excerpts compiled in this book, and one of the excerpts was called The General Principles of Liberty. In a letter to Thomas Jefferson on June 28th, oh, it's my mom's birthday, 1813, John Adams wrote, the general principles on which the fathers achieved independence were the only principles in which that beautiful assembly of young gentlemen could really unite. What were those general principles? I answer, the general principles of Christianity, in which all sects were united, and the general principles of English and American liberty, in which all of those young men united, which had united all parties in America in majorities sufficient to assert and maintain her independence. Now I will avow that I then believe and now believe that those general principles of Christianity are as eternal and immutable as the existence and attributes of God. Amen. Amen. And now a little tribute to America at 250 years old. America has been a nation of hope, courage, and resilience from the first courageous signatures on the Declaration of Independence to the generations who have defended liberty, built communities, and served their neighbors. Our story has been written by ordinary people doing extraordinary things. We honor those who gave their lives for freedom, those who worked tirelessly to build a better nation, and those who continue to serve with integrity and compassion. America's history has known triumphs and trials, victories and lessons, yet through it all, the enduring ideals of liberty, justice, and opportunity have continued to inspire. As we celebrate 250 years, may we remember that the strength of this nation has never rested solely in its monuments and institutions, but in the character of its people and in the belief of her God. May we strive to live a legacy of faith, courage, kindness, and unity for the generations that follow. And may God continue to bless America, grant wisdom to her leaders, peace to her communities, and hope to every heart. Here's to the next chapter of our nation still pursuing liberty and justice for all. Psalm 12 said, "Blessed is the nation whose God is the Lord." Micah 8, what does the Lord require of you? To act justly, love mercy, and walk humbly before your God. And 2 Chronicles 4:17 reads, "And my people who are called by my name humble themselves and pray and seek my face and turn from their wicked ways, then I will hear from heaven, will forgive their sin, and will heal their land." Amen. This anniversary is not a celebration of America's past, but it's also an invitation to pray for her future. That the next 250 years will be marked by wisdom, integrity, justice, compassion, and most of all, trust in God with renewed faith. Happy birthday, America. We are so blessed and we are so grateful. Amen. Hey, if today's episode hit home, I'd love for you to share it with a woman in your life who really needs to hear it. And also leave a review. If this podcast is becoming a part of your journey, it sure means the world to us, and it will help us reach more women who are ready to build. If you're feeling that pull, that quiet voice saying, it's time, I want to invite you to take this next step. There's a link in the show notes to book a 30-minute discovery call with me. Just come as you are. We'll figure out the rest together. So until next time, start messy, stay faithful, and keep building. I'm Kimberly A. This is Build It Messy, and I'll see you next week.